Across Oregon, a new kind of quiet is spreading. Suburbs built for families sit half lit at night. Apartment buildings have full parking lots on paper, but long stretches of dark windows in real life. Downtown towers glow on a few random floors, while the rest of the grid looks like a paused video game. From above, entire neighborhoods look less like living communities and more like a simulation left on idle. This isn't a normal seasonal slowdown. In 2025, Oregon has moved into a different phase. Homes are sitting longer, buyers are cautious, renters are leaving. And in city after city, too many properties are waiting for people who are no longer coming. Today, we break down the 10 Oregon cities with the most empty homes in 2025 and what that actually says about the state's housing story. If you're new here, this is Across US 4. We do long-form cinematic breakdowns of the places shaping America's future. If that matters to you, subscribe. Now let's begin. 10. Astoria, Postcard City. Broken math. Astoria looks perfect on camera. Hillside Victorians, fog over the Columbia, old docks and cranes. For years, it was the escape hatch for remote workers fleeing Portland, retirees chasing views. Second home buyers wanting a discount coastal play. That wave pushed prices from the mid-300s into the 500s and up for cottages and craftsman homes. Riverfront condos commonly crossed 600Ks, then the numbers stopped working. Local incomes never caught up. Insurance got more expensive. Tourism softened. The Airbnb profit margins people were banking on shrank. By 2025, three-bedroom homes near 500K sit 60-90 days. Price cuts of 20-30K are common. Hillside streets south of Marine Drive show clusters of underused or vacant homes. A chunk of those houses are second homes rarely visited. Others are short-term rentals that don't book like they used to. At the same time, locals are moving inland to places like Longview, St. Helens, and Salem, taking real, permanent demand with them. Astoria is still beautiful, but beauty doesn't close the gap between what homes cost and what the people living there actually earn. 9. Roseburg. Affordable. Until it wasn't. Roseburg built its pitch around three words: quiet, green, affordable. That brought in retirees, remote workers, and ex-Portlanders tired of big city costs. But as out-of-area buyers flooded in, prices jumped. Homes in the high 200s climbed into the mid-high 300s. A 280K home from 2019 now lists near 400K. Meanwhile, wages stayed small town. The result, in neighborhoods like Melrose and Green, homes at 350, 400K sit 60, 90 days. Sellers shave 15, 20K off asking prices just to get offers. New builds along Garden Valley and any Roseburg show finished but empty homes, plus lots that never got built on apartments near Stewart Parkway. And downtown are seeing vacancy levels not seen in years. Some renters aren't moving into newly built homes. They're moving away to Winston, Sutherland, or out of the region entirely. Roseburg is now caught between its old identity and its new pricing. The homes are there. The buyers at those prices are not. 8. Gresham, the safety valve. That leaked for a decade. Gresham was Portland's pressure relief valve. Couldn't afford Inner Portland, UN East, cheaper homes, manageable commute, predictable payments. That safety valve role pulled steady demand into Gresham. Then it overheated. Townhomes that used to sit in the low 300s climbed to 380K and beyond. New single-family homes pushed past 500K. The demand was mostly Portland buyers looking for more space, out-of-state arrivals with bigger budgets. When that flow slowed, the foundation cracked. By 2025, migration out of Portland toward Gresham is the weakest it's been in years. Many households now skip the entire metro and go straight to Idaho, Utah, Arizona, or Vancouver. Townhomes that were 300K are now closer to 330, and still sit single-family homes in the mid-400s get minimal traffic even with incentives. Renters who once planned to buy in Gresham are leaving Oregon altogether, removing future buyers from the local pipeline. Layer on rising insurance, higher utilities, and flat wages, and Gresham no longer plays its old role. The cheaper alternative doesn't feel cheap anymore. 7. Braintree, Medford, boom. Without the backing. Medford used to be the engine of Southern Oregon's housing boom, milder climate than Portland, cheaper than Bend. attractive to retirees and remote workers. That demand pushed three-bedroom homes from roughly $300K to the mid-400s. New East Medford builds easily went past $500K, powered by buyers from California and Washington. Then two things happened. The out-of-state wave slowed. Ownership costs spiked, especially wildfire-related insurance. Local incomes never matched the new price tier, so in 2025, subdivisions off Crater Lake Highway and North Phoenix Road show houses sitting empty for months. 480K homes linger for 60-90 days and multiple 20K price drops. Builders in Southeast Medford and White City are sitting on unsold inventory, unfinished lots, and incentives that no longer move the needle. Add in rising insurance, property taxes, and softer rental demand, and Medford's story is clear. Too many homes, built for buyers who aren't arriving in the numbers planners assumed. 6. Salem, quiet slowdown in the safe market. Salem never tried to be flashy. It sold government jobs, relative affordability, predictable demand. That reputation kept its housing market steady for years. By 2025, that quiet confidence is under pressure. First hit, rentals. Newer complexes in South Salem and Kaiser that were supposed to fill instantly now report units sitting vacant for months. Double-digit vacancy in some buildings. Incentives becoming standard, not rare. In Northeast Salem, more budget-friendly rentals, usually the last. Segment to soften, now show noticeable empty units. On the ownership side, updated three-bedroom homes around $450K site 70-90 days. Sellers trim 10 to 20K to spark showings. Buyers hit an affordability ceiling and start looking elsewhere, to Albany, Lebanon, Springfield, or out of state. The core issue, insurance up, taxes up, utilities up, wages flat. Some residents are leaving the Willamette Valley entirely for cheaper states, shrinking the future buyer pool. Salem hasn't crashed, but the old idea that it's always a stable, easy bet is being quietly rewritten by rising costs and thinning demand. 5. Eugene, a college town with empty beds. Eugene always felt insulated. Big state, university, public sector jobs. Lifestyle draw. For years, investors treated student areas like guaranteed income. Then the model shifted. Hybrid learning, remote classes, and changing enrollment patterns mean fewer students need to live right next to campus. Many are moving farther from the university into cheaper spots in Springfield, or back home, part-time on campus. Result, student houses that once ran full now have empty bedrooms and longer gaps between tenants. Investors who bought older properties near campus between 2019-2022 expected easy cash flow. Instead, they're facing rising insurance, higher utilities, major repairs on aging roofs, plumbing, and wiring. Some are holding, some are selling, vacancies climb either way, and it's not just student housing. Median home prices around $500K collide with local incomes that simply don't stretch that far under current rates. So potential buyers look to Creswell, Springfield, Junction City, or other regions entirely. Neighborhoods in West Eugene, Ferry Street Bridge, and south of campus show notably higher vacancy, both for sale and for rent. Eugene built and priced itself for population and demand that never fully materialized or didn't stick around. In 2025, the gap between the inventory and the people ready to fill it is hard to ignore. 4. Bend, paradise with an empty price tag. Bend has been the poster child of move here, change your life. Trails, rivers, breweries, mountains, sunshine, and a decades-long inflow of people from all over the West Coast. That story sent prices skyrocketing. Median home values above $700K West Side builds regularly listed near or above $900K. Even condos and townhomes selling at levels that once would have seemed insane for a small city. Eventually, the market hit the wall. The workforce that keeps Bend running, teachers, nurses, police, hospitality staff, service workers, can't buy into the same market their jobs exist in. Many can't even comfortably rent without stress. Developers, assuming the wave would never slow, overbuilt. East Side streets with partially completed homes. Projects that were supposed to sell out by 2023 still holding double-digit vacancies in 2025. condo townhome inventory nearly doubled. From pre-pandemic levels, high-end rentals that once filled with remote tech workers and California transplants now sit longer. Many of those people, when they run the numbers, pick Redmond, Printyville, or entirely different states. Ben's core problem is simple. Prices outgrew the real sustainable buyer base. The out-of-state inflow that masks that reality is no longer guaranteed. 3. Tillamook County, Dream Coast, Harsh Math. Tillamook County was the attainable coast, ocean views, forested hills, small-town feel lower prices than Portland. That combination pulled in retirees, remote workers, and second-home buyers. Then during the boom, prices jumped. Mid-200K homes moved into the high 300s and low 400s. Especially around Net Arts, Oceanside, and the Bayfront, local wages never kept pace. Then insurance dropped the hammer. Coastal risk, storms, wind, flooding started getting priced in more aggressively. Annual premiums that were around $500 jumped toward $3,000 and beyond for many properties. Now the true cost to own is higher mortgage, higher insurance, higher taxes, rising utilities. Across Tillamook, Garibaldi, Rockaway Beach, and nearby areas, the pattern repeats. 3-bedroom homes at $320,000-$400K sit 60-90 days. Price cuts of $10-$20K don't always move them. New construction projects show partially finished phases and builders offering credits, upgrades, and rate incentives. Meanwhile, some long-term residents are heading inland for cheaper counties. Fewer Portland area buyers are stepping in to replace them. The county didn't lose its natural appeal, it just priced its housing into a bracket that no longer matches the income and risk tolerance of the people looking. 2. Beaverton. Reliable until it isn't. Beaverton has always been the dependable suburb, schools' proximity to major employers, family neighborhoods. A solid middle-class base. It rarely had dramatic peaks or crashes, it just worked. By 2025, the cost structure has shifted. Home prices are higher, yes, but the real damage comes from everything stacked on top. Property taxes keep climbing, insurance premiums are up across the region. HOA dues in many communities, especially Five Oaks, Murray Hill, Cedar Hills, have risen steadily. For buyers, the monthly check they write isn't just about the mortgage anymore, it's the full package, and that full package has pushed many households right to the edge. Now, inventory is up roughly 25%. Single-family homes in the mid-600s can sit 60 out of 90 days. 20 to 40K price cuts are no longer unusual. Condos and townhomes near Milliken, Tanasbourne, and Jenkins feel the weight of high HOA fees and buyer fatigue. Newer apartments near Nike and along the Max line are offering move-in specials and free months just to keep occupancy respectable. The same families who would once leave Portland and settle in Beaverton are now asking a different question. If we're going to uproot our lives for affordability, why not move somewhere it actually feels affordable? That's how a once ultra-reliable suburban market slips into visible vacancy and softening demand. 1. Portland, the giant with dark windows. At the top of the list is Portland, the city that used to be the gravity well of Oregon's growth. For years it pulled in young professionals, creatives, remote workers. People wanting that specific Portland lifestyle, prices climbed. Developers built. Investors bought condos and single-family homes expecting constant demand. Then outmigration ramped up, costs piled up, the buyer base thinned. By 2025, Portland has more empty or underused homes than any other place in the state. Key pressures. Years of residents leaving for Vancouver, Boise, Bend, smaller towns, or entirely different regions. Median prices that ran beyond what remaining local incomes can support, especially with higher rates. Rising HOA dues, special assessments, insurance, and taxes in many parts of the city. You see the results clearly in condo towers in the Pearl, South Waterfront, and downtown. Many dark windows, high vacancies, investors exiting at discounts, single-family neighborhoods where homes that once sold in a weekend now sit 90 days and cut 50-100K off asking. A general sense of wait and see from buyers who don't believe current prices reflect the new reality. Portland built and priced for a level of demand that depended on constant inflow. That inflow slowed, then reversed. The housing stock didn't. So you end up with streets, buildings, and whole sections of the city where the number of homes no longer matches the number of people willing or able to pay what those homes demand. The bigger story: when housing outgrows people. These 10 cities are different, but their pattern is the same. Prices ran ahead of real, local incomes. Ownership costs stacked higher, insurance, taxes, utilities, HOAs. Migration shifted, fewer people coming in, more people leaving. Developers, landlords, and owners built and bought for yesterday's demand. The result is visible at night: more dark units, more for sale and for rent signs that don't change, more neighborhoods that feel quietly underoccupied. If you live in Oregon or you're watching it from a distance, this isn't just a list of struggling markets. It's a map of where power has shifted, away from sellers who assumed infinite demand, toward a reality where the buyer and renter base is smaller, more cautious, and more price-sensitive. For more long-form, cinematic breakdowns of the places that are quietly rewriting America's housing story, subscribe to Across US4. We will keep tracking the cities, the numbers, and the aerial shots that show what's really happening on the ground.